Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brandon. Got the Corvette shirt on today. And so just in the fewest words possible, today is the magical day when General Motors realizes that they're in checkmate. And the funny thing is, I've explained it all along, the checkmate that they're in, but I don't think it's really clicked. And so I kind of started keeping it secret by keeping half of the checkmate, like you cover up like the queen, and you hope your opponent forgets that the queen is behind your hand because you don't talk about the queen for a while. The queen has always been, if General Motors produces a zr1 and it doesn't have 2 in-tank fuel pumps, we're going to be able to blow the fucking motors up, guys. It's very simple. And for those of you who think you're smart, you're like, there's multiple fuel pumps up on the engine, and then there's a fuel pump in the tank, and that means there's a total of 3. You've got to have 2 fuel pumps in the tank to feed the fuel up to the engine, period. And if you don't have 2 fuel pumps or some revolutionary, very large fuel pump, you're fucked, okay? And so General Motors, we already know that they've blown up motors on their cars that they've taken down to Marietta, Ohio. I don't know that Mark Royce and Taj understands that the reason why their engines are blown up when they go down to Marietta, Ohio is the altitude and the cold weather. I don't think they figured it out yet, but I definitely understand it. I explained it to Taj in person for 45 minutes once upon a time back in 2019, and he was happy to have the conversation with me. He was happy to disclose to me that it's too expensive for them to recall the C7 Z06s to fix the problem, and that they're instead just gonna keep lemon lawing me out of cars. Okay, that's fine, document it that you guys are gonna keep lemon lawing me out of cars. But the point is, along the way, my GM inside guys, different people were like, you don't have to worry about GM not getting the zr1 right because it's still years out. They're going to release the Grand Sport first. Okay, so then what do? We start taking bets with people who want to say that I'm wrong and that I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, there's only 2 options here, guys. GM either releases the C8 zr1 and we blow up the fucking motor and the cars all get recalled, which is going to cost them millions of fucking dollars. Millions, okay? Off their bottom line. Like tons and tons of millions of dollars. Not just like 2 million or 5 million. We're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars because they're going to have to recertify the car with new EPA. They're going to have to redo all their tests. I mean, we're talking an ungodly amount of fucking money, okay? So, because the only way to fix it is to add the second fuel pump in the tank. Or the other option is they release the Grand Sport first, at which point I make thousands of dollars in the bet, right? With the bets of all the idiots who want to bet me that I don't know what I'm talking about, that they know more about Corvettes than I do. The Clayton Smiths of the world, the Rob Key or Rob C's of the world, the Darren Walters of the world, the disrespectful Jonathan Willises of the world who want to pretend that they have the slightest fucking clue about Corvettes relative to myself. Okay, just these people who have no fucking clue what they're talking about in the grand scheme of things, who want to be disrespectful to me when all I'm doing is trying to share with you guys information. Nah, you don't know what you're talking about. We're the smartest ones, aren't you, Koa? Okay, Koa Nayujan of the world, who thinks he's intelligent, when his Corvette that he's created, this engine, it has twice as much header surface area. So whoever's dumb enough to buy Koa's car, I hate to say it, you're going to melt your wiring harnesses to your engine because the C8 Z06 already melts wiring harnesses when people take them to the racetrack, okay? It's a fact, okay? I can introduce you to the people. And you've doubled the header surface area to double the amount of expelled heat in the engine bay, plus you're adding a fucking turbo to the car, Koa. It's like you have no clue what you're doing. And instead of any of these people have the common sense to say, hey, let's call up Doug at ECS and see what he thinks. Let's call up the guys at Lingenfelter and see what they think. Let's call up Brandon and see what he thinks. Hey, Brandon, do you know anybody else who we should call? Yeah, I'd be happy. I would be happy to help people like Koa out. But instead, what is Koa? Koa's a fucking 5-year-old mentality, little, nah, I know the secrets of all the cars and I'm going to figure it out on my own. And then I'm going to prove Brandon wrong. I don't need Brandon's help on anything. It's like good riddance, you stupid fuck. Go bankrupt. Get sued. Because that's what's going to happen. Your car produces too much heat in the engine bay, but you're going to find out the hard way. So it's like all these people who want to prove that they know more than me instead of just be on my team, instead of the Justin at Horsepower Obsessed call me up and say, hey, Brandon, my guys on the inside at Vegas, they said this. What do you think? That's possible. It's possible they're talking about the Grand Sport. It's possible there's two variants of the Grand Sport, and that this turbo motor Grand is also a Grand Sport. It's possible that the zr1 ends up being something else. This is possible. This is possible. Hey, Brandon, those are great ideas. I want to put them on my show. The guy's too fucking stupid. Aren't you, Justin? You fat fuck. You stupid piece of shit. It's just unbelievable how fucking stupid these people are. And the GM execs right now are the king of fucking stupidity, guys. The video I made last night, it explains that the demon, to my buddy who's a top sales guy at one of the biggest Chrysler stores in the United States, in the Midwest anyway, they're blowing motors. Dodge knows it's an issue. They're having fueling issues. They're just hoping all the cars get out of warranty in time before the other people. Most of the cars are just sitting in fucking museum status. And Dodge doesn't want to admit that they have a huge fucking problem with their cars. The Dodge, the guy I was talking to last night on the phone is a good dude. He's telling me stories about how he owns one of the Chargers, like Hellcat Chargers or whatever, and they've souped it up, and they ran like low 9s or 8s or whatever it is. And he said that, you know, one of the top guys at what do you call it, Chrysler Dodge, was at the drag strip, and he's like, how'd you do that? How'd you get the car to go that fast? And he used a company called Livernois out of Illinois, which they know what they're doing. And he basically says we put 2 fuel pumps in the tank. Who's told you that over and over and over? Has anybody on YouTube explained this, Mark Royce? Mark Royce, do you understand that your car is your grand crown jewel of a fucking car that you say is a ZR1? If that is a ZR1 and you guys don't, and you cheap out and that's not the Grand Sport, and you say, oh, we can get away with just telling people this is the ZR1, that way we don't have to have egg on our face. Okay, fine. Release the car, Mark. And guess what happens to your fucking motors when I take the car to sea level in the cold weather? Nobody drives at sea level in cold weather. Oh yeah, what's that right there, Mark? Snow. And guess where we're at right now? We're by the Ohio River. Oh, Mark Royce. Did your engineers not explain this to you, Mark? That you're about to be fucking humiliated beyond your wildest fucking dreams, that your car's gonna be blowing motors left and right? Nah, Brandon, because if that was true, they'd blow up motors in testing. Do you understand, Mark Royce, that your car did blow up motors in testing and it wasn't even cold out when your car went to the fucking Ohio River? Our guys go down 75 to Cincinnati all the time and test the cars, Brandon. Right, Mark, but do they go 180 miles per hour where the car's making max fuel for COT, which is called cat over temp protection, Mark Royce? Mary Barra, you listening? You stupid pieces of shit. I'm just so sick of how stupid you guys are. What it comes down to, guys, is you're fucking with my life. You're fucking with our lives with blown fucking motors, and you expect me to be respectful? Do you understand that when you put me in a fucking car that can kill me, that's disrespectful, Mark Royce? Does that compute in your fucking head? You're gonna find out the hard way soon, aren't you, Mark? He's all bark and no bite. We've already shown that we can run the Corvette Z06 lane. It's a lemon law fucking buyback. Now you think that you're gonna get away with running the same amount of fuel on a 1,064 horsepower car, Mark Royce? And you guys aren't gonna put 2 fuel pumps in the tank? And if you do put 2 fuel pumps in the tank, Mark, you've proven me right, haven't you? You've shown the world that I wasn't wrong about your Z06s being fucking death traps. That they can, and the C7 Z06s and the C8 Z06s being death traps. That people like myself can run them lean, and that you guys don't care about our safety. Welcome to the nightmare, Mark. This is what I call checkmate, bitch. This is checkmate, you stupid fuck. I thought that you only were gonna bet your friends that we were gonna release the Grand Sport first, and that I could beat you, Brandon, by releasing the ZR1 first. Now you're telling me that you're gonna blow up the motor on the car if we release it, and that we're gonna create a big class action lawsuit for our company and a big documentary where all the little Facebook puppets are exposed who want to argue with you. You didn't tell us this part. Actually, I did, Mark, but Justin, Horsepower Obsessed, got the channel knocked down. But I did warn you that this was coming. Did your GM puppets not explain this part to you, Mark Royce? What about Wendy Miller? Wendy Miller, do you understand any of this shit, bitch? You stupid pieces of shit. Your company's gonna be sued beyond your wildest fucking dreams. You should have warned us, Brandon. You should have warned us first. I've been warning you stupid fucks for fucking 8 years. 13 according to your stupid fucking bitch Wendy. Go fuck yourselves. How you doing today, Clayton Smith? You mindless fuck.